Dragged these two to PlantCon. Bought them tickets. So I have company in LA. I left 30 degrees and it's 60 degrees here.
It's so cold this week.
It was snowing when I got on my plane. So look at the sunshine. They say it's cold. Isn't that insane? This line is insane. All the way wrapped around the building. It is. We waited in line for an hour. It wrapped all the way around the building. I guess it was one in, one out. So one left and they let one in. It's opened at 10. We were there about 10:45 or so. And I'm sure there was a just as long line waiting for them to open. Kat thinks people were probably camped out overnight. Look at this little collapsible cart. Isn't that cool? This is probably a lot of tissue cultures in these, I would assume. And they had some larger ones on poles up above. And then several totes of plants. Larger plants. And then this is a beneficial bug station, and that was obviously bees. And then they had little packets of beneficial bugs, which I wish I would have bought some now because I've been thinking about doing that for my plants in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet. And then a bunch of Hoyas on trellises. They did have a couple that I liked, but they were a little above the price range I wanted to spend on just a tiny little plant. Unsolicited plants, I've actually seen that online, so I thought that was cool. They had a bunch of Hoyas. That's kind of what they specialize in, I believe. And then this booth had the most beautiful Monstera elbows. I wanted to get one, but they're all pretty large and it'd be hard to bring back on a flight, so I skipped it. And then this Monstera esquilata. There was an orange marmalade down there. There's a bunch of Anthurium veitchii right there. Maybe. These monkey tail cactus. They're so cute. So furry. And then they had a bunch of other cactus. This booth had a lot of orchids. Some were staked up on wood. I'd finally found a booth where there were some plants that I wanted. Look at this beauty right here in the center as I'm going around to get in the booth to pay. A devil monstera. It was going for $1,800. Oh, it is just stunning. I've seen them sell for $5,000 or more in the US. So these were imported plants from, I think, Thailand recently. Like they just shipped in right before this sale, I believe. So I was able to get some plants at some pretty good prices because of that. Right here, I was joking with him and asking it was buy two, get one free. But he didn't think it was very funny. But I had to try, right? Anyway, so now he's wrapping up the plants I'm buying into some tissue paper to help for travel. So I very much appreciated that. There was a seller, two sellers that didn't offer to do anything like that. So this one's great. I did spend just under $600 at this one. But this is a Monstera white lava. Look how pretty that is. $650. Oh, I put it up on the camera. There you go. Get a closer view of it. So pretty. And still another beautiful view of that devil Monstera. I was borderline obsessed with this booth of all of these carnivorous ping bogs. They were really cool looking. They had the dragon scale rock for sale, so I did buy a clump of it. I wish I would have bought another clump. And then this is biorbs, and they had a bunch of aquatic plants. I want to make a bioorb one of these days. But they had a pretty good selection of the plants. And these drunken cactus were really cute. My friend was considering getting one. She's not much of a plant gal, but she liked them that you could put little hats on them. They had flowers glued to each of them. She's like, ooh, I don't know if I want to get it since it's blooming right now. And I'm like, those are definitely fake. He glued them on there, but their like little cups were so cute. She only didn't get it because it felt heavy. And then here's some more carnivorous plants. I ended up buying one from here, so hold on to the end and I will reveal everything I got. And some more. They were making carnivorous ping bogs for people on site, which was cool. So you could like customize it exactly how you wanted it and they would put it together for you. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant idea. They had alocasia venoms. They were like $65. Great deal. This was a variegated gloriosum. I was tempted. It was just really little and I was scared of killing it. But they had a good selection of plants here too. And then I found this variegated tortum, so I had to get it. It said I was an Aurea. These pitcher plants were gorgeous. I saw a lot of people walking around with some, so they were definitely getting purchased. And then these were a bunch of alocasias in these containers. There was several cute ones I was considering. I picked up a lot of them. I was hoping to see a pink cuprea. I wouldn't have bought it, but it would have been cool to see. A bunch of platycerium staked up. I actually forgot about these. I wish I would have looked at them closer because this is something I'm interested in these days. And then our hotel was in downtown LA and they had a beautiful rooftop pool with lots of plants with the view of the cityscape. I wish we would have gone out there at night to get a picture of the view. But instead we went and did karaoke. Look at all these plants. And then we went to Bobble for dinner and they had just stunning plants too. All over LA, there's just beautiful plants. And in California too, in my friend's neighborhood, there's plants just planted in people's front yards that you would never see. I'm not a big golden pothos girly, but this was absolutely stunning. So cool. It was kind of getting to the area where people almost are going to be walking into it. So when they trim it, I hope they trim it in different places every time. And then a little karaoke is how we ended our night. Now it's time to pack up the plants for flying. So hopefully we won't have a problem going through TSA. I've traveled with plants before and it's been no problem, but they were a little more covered up than these are. So we'll see how it goes. One of my friends bought this little cactus. Of course, my bag got picked to go through. I came back from LA to this disgusting snow. Ugh. I got back at 1:45 a.m. last night because my flight in Chicago to O'Hare was delayed 2 hours and then some. So that was fun. So when I got home, I went ahead and just unpacked my plants and put them on the table because scrunched into this bag. Here's my plant haul. So going through TSA, I had an issue with my dragonstone rock because it looked like a bomb in the x-ray, I think. But I told him what it was and he was like, oh, yeah, get it. So I told him, be very careful. I have plants in there and I don't want them to get damaged. And he was very nice about it. So here's my bomb. So I got, oh no, this Hoya that just Lost a leaf. That's sad. Toya, Adada, leopard. Isn't it cute? And then my Tortum lost a leaf also. Ugh. Next time I need to bring materials to pack these with so that they're in better shape. But now I know. And then the philodendron juppii variegated. Look how cute it is. I'm obsessed. These are all imports. I also got a philodendron variegated Billietiae. I already have one of these, but it's smaller, and I spent about the same amount of money on it. So I'll probably sell one, maybe. I don't know. I love this plant so much. And then my philodendron golden dragon variegated. This leaf didn't fare very well. Oof, I'll probably chop it. And then there's a new leaf out. It just recently unfurled, so it needs to harden off. And then there's another new leaf coming. So subscribe to my channel and I'll go through the process of acclimating these because they just got here from Thailand. So let me go grab my ping. Here is my beautiful ping. How cute is it? I love it. It's got some of the rocks on it. I didn't get them all swept off, but I'll work on that. So it's gonna live on this in a bog. I have some more that will go on it as well. But I love the outlining, the purple outlining. Isn't it beautiful? Obsessed. Kind of wish I would have gotten another couple, but they didn't have a box or anything for me to put it in, which was kind of annoying because a lot of people come from out of town. So like, let's work on better packaging for people, but I should have been more prepared because I knew I was coming to get plants. So that's something I'll work on for the next one I go to because there will be a next.